Bitcoin is going to $40,000. Sell all your crypto currently, de-risk, remove all the leverage, and please pray for your money not actually going to zero. Today, I'm presenting you with 3 scenarios for Bitcoin price action in the short term. I still think we should be seeing new Bitcoin all-time high this month, and today I will provide you with the arguments and 3 potential options that I'm seeing currently at this stage. And I will also share 10 undervalued low-cap meme coins, along with the narratives, along with the things that are happening around them. There are a range of meme coins currently on the market that are overbought. There is close to zero upside in buying them currently. At the same time, most of the influencers out there, they're screaming about these meme coins. They are leading you into the slaughterhouse with these memes. We have to buy undervalued things and wait. Buy low, sell high. If you're buying high, you are at the edge of the long-term monthly consolidation on a range of memes. Even if they pump, since they're pumped already, they may be showing 2, 3, 4x. These are not the gains I'm for in meme coins. If you're looking for 2 to 3 or 4x, you should probably be in alts. A range of them should honestly be provided this type of gains short term, and it might be wise just to reposition in them if you're looking for a longer term safe place out there. Consider liking this video and let's start. Bitcoin current situation, we are in the range. We had quite a huge correction on Monday, Tuesday. As usual, I'm always saying that Monday and Tuesday corrections are often bullish because the same as in the stock market, they are gathering the liquidity for the move in the week, for the opposing move in the week. So usually if we are pumping on Monday, often through the week, we are correcting. This is just a very basic piece of analysis, but it's great to have these type of tips on the marketplace that you can refer to in different situations. On the top, I have the chart of Bitcoin. On the bottom, I actually have the RSI. You can see that we have bullish divergence on RSI at this stage, which means that our chart is essentially going up and this chart is going down. Usually this actually helps us to understand that we should be continuing the move up because this RSI chart should actually reverse and should start going higher as well. Unfortunately, I do see that we might be going a bit lower around this low on the RSI. So maybe on the RSI we will be going a little bit lower, which would essentially create the situation for us where BTC would be correcting a little bit more at this stage. And you also might have a question, what is this fractal that you actually have copied and shown on the chart here, which exactly copies the price movement of BTC at this stage? And I have this piece of charts as well right here. This is a fractal from Aptos. And it's crazy how similar the price action of BTC and Aptos is currently at this stage. And I specifically also have the RSI for both Bitcoin and for Aptos as well. No one is talking about this on the marketplace. Certain alts are actually front-running BTC situation currently. And the things that we've seen on Aptos is very similar. And what's interesting is that here people got very bearish, like here at the bottoms, when we were correcting into this range. What happened to them? Yes, you're right, they got liquidated. We are even following, like, we have this low on BTC chart, we have the same thing happening in Aptos, we have this top, we have the same thing with RSI top in short term as well. This is crazy. We have this bottom and we have like these sharp patterns, they are moving quite closely. And what I've just done pretty much, I just copied this part of the Aptos chart and I applied this to the BTC chart. And honestly, this might actually give us a good tip on how the market will continue to push further. One more thing I wanted to share as well from the tweet that I shared today on X. BTC current Bitcoin scenario. I'm mainly seeing 3 outcomes from the current levels. Our list, option 1, we surge up from the current levels. Option 2, Bitcoin goes to the bottom of the current range and reverses from there. Option 3, Bitcoin goes lower to $63,000, forms reversal pattern around 0.5 fib level trading range and surges back up. So this is the screenshot from BTC chart that I wanted you to see. Personally, I'm leaning towards the first scenario where we're just going higher and up from here. Second, it would be a bit closer to Aptos like scenario, right? We would essentially touch this low at the chart, like the bottom of this new range. I would say that this would be a little bit more healthier at this stage. And technically, all the things are actually looking into the scenario number 3. We can also see that we had a deviation, like this is treated as deviation on Aptos chart at this stage. Probably it should become deviation BTC chart as well, essentially. So we have this third option, and if we would be seeing third option, we would probably be forming reversal pattern right here around these Fib levels, which is quite interesting. We would be touching 0.618 and around 0.5 we will essentially form the reversal and surge up from there. And this support area is also crucial because we had a huge liquidity movement right here, and BTC chart often tends to retest, and that's why I'm saying that the second scenario is probably most likely to actually come to reality. Personally, I'm leaning towards the first one. Third is kind of your worst case scenario. In this case, like, we would be actually closer to just the full reversal of the market and us going down. I don't think that this is something that honestly will be happening. We have a range of people on the marketplace currently being bearish. They're still sidelined. It's crazy how people are treating the market currently. They were taught, like Pavlov's dogs, to essentially fade each and every rally. I have a strong belief that this rally will be not the one to fade. And I also cannot agree with people that are saying that maybe we will be seeing a rally close to the first week of November, maybe after the election, because the pure art from the market maker's point of view and from the manipulator's point of view would be to push this thing further before the actual start of the election. Because like it's very obvious that once the election is done, it removes all of the uncertainty from the marketplace, and at that point of time probably everyone would be entering. But imagine if they would create the rally essentially before the election, and these were my prediction on BTC all-time high in October comes as well. It will leave most people sidelined, and most people will be joining during liquidity creation area already, and most people will actually be buying into meme coins and into assets that will be screamed largely about by the influencers on Twitter and on YouTube as well. And most of them are screaming about the assets when they are up already. You have to buy into good assets, good better places, certain assets when they're still consolidating or when they are at the edge of the breakout. And in this video as mentioned, we'll go through 10 of them. It's quite interesting to know that here we also have a reversal pattern right here. So this is the one that I would expect BTC printing if we are going lower to this level. One more time. The first one, I think something will be happening. Second is probably the most likely scenario in the marketplace. Third is just worst case at this stage. Overall, I still think that we should be going to BTC all-time high this month. We have 1 week left, and that's why I was saying in the weekend videos as well that I think that this week should be a very interesting one. Coming back to our meme coins that are undervalued currently. And there is a specific reason I'm showing bread to you currently. And this is not even based on the sentiment. It's not based on like some things that are happening on the marketplace. But this is mostly based on the charts out there. Just look at this chart. It's printing the exactly same picture as a bunch of assets were printed. We are consolidating around this resistance level right here. We touched it here, we touched it here, we touched it here, we're touching it currently. We are consolidating around this level. This is the healthiest thing you can have on the marketplace before the breakout. If you would check out the assets like Giga and some others that are surging up currently, they had exactly the same chart before the breakout. This is where your bread is currently. This is around this level, so they're consolidating. And the issue that I have with these coins currently is that you have people on the marketplace right now pushing people to buy into these assets, to buy into Giga, to buy into Apu, to buy into FWOC, to buy into SPX, to buy even in Retardio. Probably things like FWOC, Retardio, and Apu, they still have a little bit of upside left. But overall, you will just be losing your money, because what will be happening here is that this thing will probably go a bit down. It will go a bit down from here, and it will start multi-month accumulation before the next leg up. This is the most likely scenario. Obviously, I do expect for the market to behave not as the way it was behaving in the last several months, which is new BTC all-time high. With new BTC all-time high, this thing should be pushing higher as well as most of the assets on the marketplace. But it should be underperforming heavily. The main reason because it's pumped already. The main reason is because holders that were buying here, they are up 5x, some of them more than 5x on large market cap asset. Like people who are buying here, they were probably not buying like with $1,000 or $2,000. They understood the chart, they understood where this thing is actually going. They were probably entering with $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, because this is the size that you should actually be entering with into these like larger cap meme coins. I do not believe that there is a significant upside in this thing and in other things that I mentioned as well. 2, 3, maximum 4x. And that's why I'm saying that if you are looking for this type of returns in meme coins, I'm not looking for this type of returns in meme coins. You should probably just buy altcoins and not look into this space overall. And that's why I'm showing you the chart of bread. And you might be hearing some fight about bread and things like this, but it doesn't matter. What matters is just the chart at this stage. Ethereum primed to pump currently. Bread is one of the tickers that should be pumping just based on the chart, based on the structure that it's essentially created out there. Second thing is Momo. Momo is quite interesting because we recently had this breakout to $170 million. Not a breakout, but we try to search up there and we get rejected from this level. It's a nice level as well because we have been touched it here, we have touched it here, we have touched it here, we have multiple essentially points that we touch at this level here. So it's a strong liquidity level and it's natural we would be receiving a reaction from here, from this level. However, currently we received a reaction from this level right now, right? And previous time was only happening back in August, right? And you see that we are not like, we were not sent back right here yet. Maybe this would be happening. I do not think so, just because I do think that the market is bullish and we would be going to new BTC all-time high. And Solana people with other coins, they are in profits currently. Momo is one of the lagger currently, 100% it's lagging. And this is the option for you to actually enter. This is where you need to enter in this type of assets. Yes, your favorite influencers are not talking about this asset at this stage. This is where you get your upside. You would have to hold, but this is where the money are made, right? So this is what I'm expecting. Us essentially surge up, try to test out this level one more time, maybe get rejected again, but have a very, very slow, small rejection and surge up from there. And if you kind of want to have like 100% approval and 100% safety, you might not want to accumulate in this range. You might just be buying the breakout. Like you'll probably lose 30-40%, but you will be sure that this thing starts the rally, right? Obviously, the ideal case is to be buying these assets at the bottom of the range. We might just formed a new type of range, and like we kind of have levels around this time. So if we are at around $140 million market cap, I think you should be entering if you want to accumulate. Better case is obviously 115 at this level, right? I don't think we are going into the global bottom of this range until obviously the whole market is reversing, but I don't think something like this will be happening. So this is your playbook, and all of these assets, they should be pumping, because betting against this asset essentially getting pumped is the same thing as betting against human greed. And I would say this is one of the stupidest bets you can only make in the market, is bet against human greed. People will be taking profits on the assets once they understand that there is not much upside left, and once they will essentially start to correct, and they will be repositioning into other larger cap assets currently. What you have the option to do currently is to front run. But this is the larger cap. Like, I'm not interested myself to put chunk of money here, because I do think I would be able to outperform in other assets out there. Asset number 3 is Trump. We have a very, very nice correction on Trump happening currently. If you would think it's actually kind of like Momo correction, but it's a bit heavier, just because of the reason that in Momo case we went from 170 million back down to 140. In this case we went from 250, got heavily rejected, to 150. So you might even think that this is a larger correction, right? And follow my thought process. This is very, very important thing. Everything I'm showing you with these larger cap meme coins is purely based on the charts. Other things, they broke out already. These things, they should be breaking out soon. And I do think that a range of these things, they will essentially cause their own metas on the marketplace, based on FOMO and based on people looking for better plays. And the 10 coins that I will be showing in this video, you might think that kind of these 3, they are part of this 10 as well. They would be creating their own metas. In Bread case, these are base meme coins, because a lot of base meme coins charts, they look exactly the same as Bread chart currently. And that's why I'm saying that we should have the alt chain season, where people would essentially be going to alt chains, right? Probably base in the first place, because charts, they just look very, very nice at this stage. Blast as well, I think. Trump should be essentially starting election meta. I still do not see election meta do not happening. Like, I think that this is a shakeout to get people off. And my thought process is, even if I'm wrong with BTC, even if we are going to correct, I do think that election meta will still run, because these people, they have profits. They took profits with their Solana meme coins, all the Solana memes. We have a huge liquidity extraction event such as AI Solana meme coins at this stage. So these people definitely farm that. And even in case market is dumping through the upcoming 2 to 3 weeks, I still think that election meta will run because it will be very, very safe to invest into. Because these people will be backed by trillions of dollars of capital that are spent marketing wise into election, and they will essentially be a part of this huge attention focus, right? So it's a very, very safe bet. I honestly do not understand, like the only issue I have with this meta is that I do not understand why election coins are not getting accumulated heavily yet at this stage. It might essentially, it's either market is that stupid or I'm wrong with the election meta. We'll see. I do think this is happening, and Trump chart essentially helps me in order to understand this. And I would say this one is actually your entry point. Like this is the crazy entry point. I'm not speaking only about Trump here. I'm speaking about most of the election meme coins out there currently, because a range of them, they essentially follow Trump chart pattern at this stage as well, right? So these are 3 things that I think will be forming the meta. I started with Mumu, so let's continue with Mumu beta plays. First of them is Jinan on Sol. Jinan on ETH actually can kind of follow as well. Look at this chart. Where Mumu and Trump is and Brad is, they are somewhere here right now. So they probably got rejected first time. So somewhere right here. This thing is exactly at the bottom. Why this is a better play to Mumu, you might ask? Because the main guy behind Mumu Solstice, he's also behind this meme, Jinan. He was shilling it heavily in August. He will 100% continue to shill it moving into the cycle. This thing, these pumps, they were connected with Jinan trying to break out, but we see that it was not able to gain the momentum, most likely because Mumu is not moving harshly, right? So it was trying to break through the range. We touched it several times already. I would expect us to touch it one more time, and this thing is exactly at the bottom. These are the charts like that you can accumulate. Yes, you would need to hold, you would need to wait. You would probably see Mumu surging up first for quite some time. Maybe for several days, Mumu will start to surge up and this thing will not be moving. But this is a smaller cap. And this chart, like, it's at the bottom currently. It's at the bottom. And you can see like it's forming, it's pretty much just forming. Like entry point here is quite nice if you think about that. It's crazy, right? So this is something like I'm expecting. It will 100% just follow all of the charts out there that are happening currently. Do not bet against human greed. Snib on Ethereum will be doing very well with the Ethereum season, but we're specifically talking about Mumu betas at this stage. And we have market memes on Solana as well. We have Snibu, we have Bobo, we have Dodo on Solana specifically. I do believe these are a better place for Mumu. And important thing is that when back in July, Mumu was surging up like crazy. It was the main thing on the marketplace. These things, they ran as well. And this thing is at the bottom currently too. So this is why I'm saying that you have to accumulate these things currently. You might think like it's dead, nothing has happened, but this is where the largest upside actually is. This thing will be following the charts of other things on the marketplace. All the things that Palm, Giga, Sigma, and others. Because over time, people will understand that the upside is close to zero, right? And over time, they will also see accumulation at this level. Accumulation is definitely happening at this level as well, because usually someone is selling, someone is buying, right? This is definitely happening because we're also going from the bottoms to the tops of the range. We see the absolute bottoms was $900,000 market cap, and absolute tops for this range was 3.47 million, 3.5 million. So this is a classic accumulation range. Currently, you might say you are very well at the bottom of the range as well. Coming back to Bread, as mentioned, I do think that base meme coins will serve as the better place to Bread out there. 100% this will be happening, because we have to understand Bread is around 30% of the whole value of basic ecosystem. Base is pretty much dead without Bread from my point of view, right? What's interesting is that this thing is essentially just following the chart of Trump here. So the reason I like this USA token is because it's kind of this like election better play to Trump out there as well. By the way, like I'm giving you a range of tokens currently. Mainly I'm giving them to you because I want to share the thought process with you, and you are free to pick the one that you essentially want to buy, right? So for example, in comparison to Snibu and Jinan on Sol, they are right here currently. And this thing is following the chart of Trump. So this is actually the better play to Trump, right? Following the fact that the chart is currently right here, you may essentially guess that probably what will be happening is that this thing will be breaking out sooner than Snibu and essentially other things that I just mentioned, right? But what is the downside for that? The downside is that you're not entering at the absolute bottoms, right? The entry at the bottoms was at 400k. These people, they're already in profits. They probably took the initials out, or maybe they're taking the initials out right as we speak at this dip, right? And with the continuation of this price action, like they will be further in profits. And if you were buying at 12th of September, for example, you had to wait till the local tops of 3-4 days ago. So you had to wait for more than a month, right? And this is essentially the situation on Mumu and on other better plays on Mumu that I mentioned. Although I do have a feeling that the time frame to wait is a bit shorter at this stage because they're due to break out. Solana is quite active in comparison to Base. Base needs bread in the first place. One of them is Weirdo. The second one I wanted to mention, and I was mentioning quite some time, is also Weirdo. I do like the quality of this thing. It's quite interesting that, yeah, like they all follow the same chart. Like I would say this chart is even a bit more mature than Mumu and Trump chart because we are already consolidating after this dip. So we are just consolidating in the middle of the range. You might say that this is like the bottom of a different range because we have a huge liquidity areas right here. We kind of touched it here. So yeah, it's a huge range by itself as well. Just follow the charts. Also be ready to hold. Like one of the main mistakes I've done is that I was buying good memes. I was buying memes at the bottom, right? But I was not able to hold a lot of them. I either diminished my supply heavily or I unfortunately sold them before the pump. Buy into these things, and if you want to sell, go research on the project, research on the narrative, talk to the community. If you want to sell, the best thing to essentially do is to get more information on why you should not sell. Just research more on the project. Last but not least, we have Trump on Ethereum, right? One of the better plays I'm seeing is Pega. Pega, very, very nice chart, kind of followed the dump on Trump as well, if you can see here, but it's already recovered. It's a shit, like it's a low cap, it's a shit coin, you might say, but yeah, just steadily moving. Again, the difference to better plays in Mumu is that you are here on them currently. This thing is already right here, right? So you have a bit more confidence that this thing will run, right? And this is actually to your question of people not accumulating into election coins. And this is the question is that election meta might not happen. This chart are not telling me that election meta will not happen. These charts are telling me that it should be happening because smart money are accumulating in these bottoms, and then people are essentially added to accumulate at these bottoms, which usually means, just following this chart, that we should be seeing continuation of the price action as well. And if we essentially turn the time frame that is a bit lower, we can see that our cup in hand, all of the meme assets, we've seen this on Solana already. I do actually expect Ethereum season currently as well. Currently, Ethereum season, Base season in parallel with Ethereum, election meta, everything based on the chart, and Andean Blast will be surging further as well because we will have alt chain meta with Based and Blast out there. Next thing I wanted to share is Trump. I've been sharing a couple of times as well. The main reason for me to do that is because we're seeing the same chart. We should be exactly at the bottom of the handle currently. So current entry point is very, very nice one if you would be essentially thinking of entering. These are all the same charts. And you can see that it's also a better play to Trump because with Trump dumping from this level, it also dumped. This is something you honestly want to see if you're holding certain assets that are better plays to larger assets on the marketplace. And crazy narrative about Trump is that it's actually a character of Matt Fury as well. Like, it's crazy. I lost around $20,000 on this thing back in May when I was buying it and they rocked. But since then, essentially a CTO, so it's doing quite nicely, I think. Essentially, it's the last thing. So it's last but not least, Trump Jack. Something I just bought recently. It's also like a shitcoin. So I'm showing you better plays. The reason I'm showing you like these types of low caps better plays is because you also have to understand the thought process. It's because I'm betting on peak mania in election part of the cycle when we will essentially have the election, because I'm expecting UBT Soltem high. I'm expecting election assets to surge up heavily with the largest narrative. I'm seeing this in the charts as well. I expect huge FOMO and I expect these shitties to provide crazy multipliers because people will have crazy FOMO. based on the fact that they did not accumulate, based on the fact that they did not essentially pay attention at the time when these assets were low. The reason I also share in this chart and the reason I bought myself is because essentially the same thing. So we are printing our cup and handle, and we are at the bottoms of this range currently. The reason I like this thing is because I've seen people that are following the page on Twitter. These are the same people that are supporting Bobo and Pepe community heavily. They were there from the beginning. They are people behind Brainlet, Memecoin, and they essentially from time to time they're launching this Solana Memecoins out there, right? So this is the election play from them, and I do believe that over time it should be appreciating in value as well. And essentially the chart is exactly the same. Like I'm buying this type of charts currently, but one more time, several better plays that I provided to you, they are at the bottoms, right? Last but not least is Andy on Blast. The Andy on Blast is a very, very interesting type of situation currently because it's the direct beta to bread. I was showing you where Andy on Blast is to bread chart relatively. I would probably do a post on X about it, and I will probably share it in the upcoming videos as well. This is the overview that I'm seeing currently that I shared on Twitter. I do think we might be going lower to $6.3 million if we will be there, if we are going. I'm not saying that we should. If, I think you should be ready to beat. Worst case scenario is 5.7, but yeah, like honestly, with the whole market reversal situation that's happening currently, I'm not seeing that happening much at this stage. First scenario is we're just going higher from here. And essentially, the important thing is that we have Ethereum season, and we have all these Solana folks that just hate Ethereum because they don't want to pay like $40 for transaction at this stage. And during Ethereum season, it probably be higher than $40. So they will get led to base. And I think a range of the liquidity, part of liquidity, will also be on Blast around the same time, because we should be seeing the alt chain meta that will be starting. So you have to understand that this thing is essentially the better play to bread out there, and it also nicely plays with the upcoming metas that should be happening on the marketplace based on the Ethereum charts and based on the things that are happening. And if I would remove all these drawings for us to just see a pure chart, you might actually see that like it's quite a nice situation currently. So we might be forming our handle at this stage. We might be surging up higher from here currently. So this is essentially the same type of pattern that you are seeing on the charts at this stage. This is my overview. Hope it was helpful. Again, please do not buy into memes that are overbought at this stage. It's a very, very important thing. The purpose of this game is to buy low and sell high, and I showed you several memes out there. I want you to understand the pattern, and I also want you to be able to hold, because I lost a bunch of money with me not being able to hold. This is the same chart. All of these memes will be printing the same charts out there. It's just the difference on what point in the chart you're actually entering. We will still have this meta of older meme coins pumping up. We just did not have certain exposure to the memes on certain chains, like maybe Ethereum, despite the fact SPX and up, they surged up already, but I would say that they are too out performance on ETH. We have some things like Joe, we have some other things, but all of them will be eventually breaking out. Bobo essentially as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay healthy and rich, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.